Hey guys, what is up? Welcome to the first ever Brock's Talks podcast, the podcast where we get into topics that are on my mind and I want to talk about. Could be fitness related, could be family related, could be inspiring, could be educational, could be entertaining. I'm not sure. We're just going to talk with me, Brock. So I just wanted to kind of introduce myself to the world out there who is ever listening. I am a 26-year-old college student that is taking classes online in business/organizational leadership. I am a CrossFit coach, a private personal trainer. I have been on a very weird road the past year, and that has brought me to this position to where I want to share my experiences with the world. So as I'm going to school and coaching part-time, I used to coach full-time, now I coach part-time. I do also have some gaps in my days to where I could use it and apply it somewhere. And this is where I want to apply it. So I started a YouTube channel, I'm starting this podcast, and this is where we are. So background about myself: out of high school, I took college credits to become I took college credits in criminal justice. I was kind of coaxed into going into that field because job security. I mean, there's jobs out there, but it wasn't something I was really passionate about. So as I was going to school, I started working for a gym at the college I was going to in my hometown, by the way. So went to high school in my hometown, went to college in my hometown, and started working for the fitness center at the college. As I was there, the atmosphere grew on me, the people grew on me, just the embodiment of fitness, right? I was obviously working out a lot myself, and I just realized that it was what I was passionate about. It was what came most natural to me was telling people and expressing my fitness, right, to the world. So ended up switching my major, took more schooling, got my associate's degree in exercise science. Still working for the gym during this time, and when I got my degree, got offered a full-time position with that gym. Was really awesome, great learning experience. The people were great, right? But it just came to it came to a point where it just wasn't my vibe and style, right? So about a year into this, I was starting to get into the CrossFit side of things, the constantly varied functional movement, high intensity stuff, right? So I was getting into the CrossFit. I was a CrossFit junkie. I loved it, right? And the gym I was working at, we did things similar, but we didn't, right? We were still different, and we had a different vibe, and it just didn't mingle with my flow of things, right? I wanted the constantly varied, the heavy weights, the light weights, the varied intensity, right? And we were more we had our niche, and that's cool, and it was awesome, and it works. Okay, I'm not trying to bash any of that. It just wasn't my vibe, right? So ended up switching over to a different gym, same town, right? But it was CrossFit, right? It was CrossFit affiliated, but we still had the traditional gym style. It was a 24-hour fitness thing, and that's where I started working. And same thing, it became a family. So I've had 2 fitness families in my lifetime, and it's been a huge blessing. And the CrossFit gym was definitely my niche. It had me written all over it. Obviously, it took some time for the people to warm up to me, but after that, I mean, we are family. We are family to this day, and I call them a huge blessing in my life. So worked there for about a year or so, and I turned 25, or I was 25. I was going to be 26. This was about 7 months ago. And I came to the realization, and I just felt there was something missing in my life, right? I didn't have the true college experience, right? I lived at home. Obviously we did the whole partying thing, whatever, but I didn't leave the nest. Okay. I was still living at home, or I was still living in town. Obviously I got my own apartment. I got my own place. But I was missing something. I was missing just the difference, right? The difference of town, the different experience, just something different. So came up, my cousin bought a house, mentioned he was looking for roommates, and that sparked my interest. I was like, man, that's something I should do, right? Why not? Okay. Everyone from my town supported me. Ended up telling them that was my goal. Went down there, kind of found a job that was in the fitness area, in the fitness realm, and took it. So say goodbye to the hometown, to the family, to the friends, and moved away. Very, very humbling experience, right? So I just kind of left on a whim. I mean, I had an idea, and I thought that was what I wanted to do, right? But God usually says otherwise. He either tells us because he wants us to do it, or because he's wanting us to learn something. We either need it. We need it in multiple ways. So, anyways, go down there. First day on the job, just terrible, right? And I'm not trying to get into this too much, but within an hour in there, I was like, this is awful. Literally kind of jumped ship, kind of pulled the emergency cord and said, I can't do this. Excuse me. So ended up leaving that. I was kind of disappointed. I'm like, damn, what am I going to do? Hold on. Excuse me, sorry. So I was like, what am I going to do? I don't want to move back home. I feel this is what I need to be doing, right? So threw my resume out there, grabbed the first job I could. It was with another gym. It ended up being a sales role, and I didn't think that's what it was going to be. I was kind of fed not some lies, but it was just, they manipulated it a little bit. So long story short, worked that job for like a month and a half. Awful experience, but good in the sense of it taught me a lot. Taught me I'm not a salesperson. I'm not a manipulator, right? And I actually care about people. So it was bad experience, but also a good experience because it really shined that in me that I really, really care deeply about the person, right? The person behind the money, the person behind the problems, and I actually want to help people. So, I mean, it was a terrible experience. Family was like, hey, you need to get out of that. We'll support you. Just quit that job, find another job, right? Because, again, I wanted to have the experience of being away from home. I was only like 2 months into this journey, not even like a month. So, ended up doing that. Left there, got another job that was really awesome, but again, it was another learning experience. Just learn, right? So, took this job. It was the 9 to 5, working at a desk, answering emails, interviewing people, doing things like this. But it was just the bread and butter 9 to 5er, working at a desk. And then again, another realization. I'm not a desk guy. I want to be active. I want to be with people, right? And I want to help. So anyways, was doing this job, and again, all these things kind of piled up. I'm not a salesman. I'm not that kind of guy. I'm not the guy that sits behind a desk. What am I going to do? So I started applying elsewhere, and the jobs I really desired to have all said, hey, you need more education. You have the experience. I mean, you've been in the fitness industry for 7 years. 6-7 years, you just need the education. If you have, I mean, it sucks. It's a crappy kind of thing. A piece of paper holds you back, but I mean, that's kind of what it is, right? That's the world we live in. So came to that realization was if what I really desired was being in this field and helping people and still maintaining a lifestyle, right? Because that was one thing about personal training was you work a lot and it's very rewarding, but it's very taxing on the body, right? So because if you can't balance it, it gets bad. So I was like, what am I going to do? Decided I needed to go back to school. If that was what I wanted to do and was going to do, I was going to move home. For one, obviously save on expenses, but two, I needed to be home again. I had missed my family. I missed my friends. I missed the gym. And I just felt like a fish out of water, right? So, kind of review. Love the place I was at, but I just felt I needed to go experience something. I experienced it, wasn't what I thought it was going to be, moved on, switched gears, and got refocused. So, kind of the point of the podcast today is there's never a perfect time to start anything. A lot of people are like, I gotta be here, I gotta have this much money, I have to be in this kind of shape to do this, I have to have this much knowledge to do this, right? And I need to be at this part of my career, I need to be at this part of my life. And while that does have some validity to it, the best experiences you can get is kind of just dive in head first. Not unplanned, right? You don't want to just do something totally on a whim. Like, do have plans because you don't want to be living in a dumpster. But you just kind of got to go for it. You have to realize that nothing's really holding you back. People don't really care too much about what I'm trying to say is people don't really care if you succeed or fail. I mean, succeeding especially. People don't give a shit if you're successful, right? We care about people. We as humans, we do care about people, but we care about ourselves as equal to or a little bit more. So if you succeed or you fail, I mean, people don't really care. So why not risk failing and maybe succeeding if they don't care about either? If that makes sense. Kind of just talking out of my ears or out of my head. So that's kind of the moral of the story today. So that's a little bit of background about me, and that's kind of just what I wanted to talk about. There's no perfect time to start. So if you have something you really desire and you're inspiring to do, just go do it. If you fail, no one cares. I mean, point blank, I'm right back where I was, but I'm refocused. Okay? Now I know. I know that's not what I want to do anymore. But if I weren't to do that, so I'd still be sitting here to this day, right? Nothing would have changed, but I would still have that sense of wonder of like, what if? Because what if it does go well? What if you do get that job? What if you do get that success? Okay, what if you make those changes? What if you do lose that weight? What if, right? If no one cares, people care, but no one really cares if you fail or succeed, right? The people that care about you are still going to be there. And at the end of the day, why not? So it's kind of all I got, guys. Again, this is the first podcast, so it's kind of just testing things out. Hopefully you'll get a little bit less cluttery, start getting into some intro work, have an actual kind of agenda. But I just wanted to get on here, make this podcast, tell you guys a little bit about my story, what I'm wanting to achieve, and hopefully enlighten you into doing something that you really desire to do. Because if that's what is truly in your heart, God will lead you to it, and you will either learn or succeed. So, there's no failure. There's only learning. Love you guys. I don't know. I'm trying to think of outros on the fly. Yeah, that's kind of it, guys. Welcome to the channel. Welcome to the podcast. Let's have a good week coming up, and just kind of wasting time. Let's see if we can get to 14 minutes on the dot. We're at 13:50. 52. All right, guys. I'm signing out. Have a good week.